Today I'm gonna be making a tier list for Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide weapons. They should be all of them, but if I'm missing any, that's my bad. I made this tier list myself because I couldn't find one. So there might be some missing weapons, but I tried my best to include them all. Also, I'm gonna be basing this ranking on how the weapons are in the original games and not the remastered editions, because I prefer the originals over the remasters, and that's how I want to rank them. Now I'm gonna try to go through all of these quite fast because there's quite a bit of stuff to rank here. As you can see, we got grenades, firearms, melee weapons, all that fun stuff. We even got developer weapons. So yeah, and also because there's just like different versions of machetes and baseball bats and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to be fast through each one, because to be honest, there's not much to say about a lot of these weapons. So let's just get into it. Starting off is the auto rifle. This is the only rifle you can get as a quest reward, and you get it pretty late in the game as a quest reward, and it's pretty good. I'd say it's A tier. Like, it's my least favorite rifle in the game, but it's still A tier. Like, it's got a fast fire rate, good DPS. It can be a little hard with recoil at first, but you'll get used to it. Very solid gun for sure. A tier. Badass brass knuckles. Badass brass knuckles are good. I mean, brass knuckles have short range, but they're mostly pretty good. You can get some bleed mods on these. On Riptide you can even get some better ones and stuff like that. But regardless, I'm gonna put badass brass knuckles at B. Brass knuckles overall, great weapons, but not the best, right? But they're still good. They're not mid, they're good. Baseball bat is capped at level 24, so it's a starter weapon, so I'm gonna rank it as a starter weapon. And as a starter weapon, I'm gonna put it C. I won't put it higher, even though as a starter weapon it's like one of the better ones. If this was only starter weapon, it would be like A or S, but I'll put it C still. It's very good. Like, you can get the Reaper mod for it, for example, or some other bleed mods or stuff like that, like Nailed mod, for example. Very early game stuff. It's very good. If you start a new game on Dead Island, then baseball bat is gonna be your friend. I don't like double blades. I'm gonna put battle double blade at C. It's okay. Range is short. Not the best at cutting. It does the job. Nice mods for it though, so it's okay. Same with sickles. I'm not really a fan of sickles. I like sickles over double blades, but they're not really my favorite, so they're also gonna go C. The text here is kind of hard to read, but this is the big baseball bat, and I'm a baseball bat enjoyer, so I'm gonna put it in A. It's not level capped. You can get some nice mods for it. Baseball bats are really good weapons. I'm a Sam B main, so the blunt clippers are nice. So definitely A tier for big baseball bat. Big splitting axe. Now I like these big axes, but I'm gonna have to put this one into B tier, and I'm gonna put the big universal axe in the B tier as well, right next to each other. I'm gonna put it above because I like the model better, but these things have terrible animations, which is why they won't be in A or S. If they had better animations, I think they would be higher, because they have really good damage. You can put some nice mods on them. They have great durability, but the animations just suck. So it is what it is. Grenades are gonna be difficult to rank for me because I don't use them too much. Bleed bomb it's okay, but most grenades are just better. Like, this is good against human enemies, I believe, and against zombies it's okay. But like, there's just so many better grenades that this is not really something you'll use. And these are also, you don't find these anywhere. no one sells these or anything like that, so yeah. Machetes are real nice. Bola machete is gonna go into A tier. Also, I'm gonna put the rifle behind the melee weapons because I prefer melee weapons over firearms in this game. I mean, that's pretty based, to be honest, because the gunplay in this game isn't that great, but it is what it is. Yeah, Bola machete is great. Machetes have real good stats, good damage, solid force actually as well, good cutting power, good durability, and you can put some real nice mods on it, like shock mods and poison mods and stuff like that. Bolt action sniper rifle is fun to use, but it's not really that good, to be honest. I'm gonna put it top of C for now. Like, it's fun to use, but you're gonna have to reload after every bullet, so it's kinda annoying to use. You can find one at the ferry station with a common rarity, and then you can buy one in Henderson from, I believe, 2 different shopkeepers. But yeah, just use the semi-auto sniper. We'll get to that later. Bronze knuckles are a Riptide exclusive. I believe they have different mods, at least a few different mods than the other brass knuckles. But yeah, they're still brass knuckles. I'm gonna put them in B. There's nothing I have to add really that I haven't already said. Same with the brutal brass knuckles. I'm gonna put them as the highest ranking brass knuckles for now because of the model, because that's basically all the differences. There is some minor differences, but it's not that noticeable. So yeah, top of B. Brutal machete. Machetes are A tier. I'm gonna put it behind the Bolo machete because Bolo machete looks better. Other than that, pretty much the same. Like, the difference is barely noticeable. Sickles I've talked about. I like the model better, so I rank it higher. Like, with a lot of these weapons where they have different variants, it's gonna come down to the model and stuff like that. So you might not like it, and that's fine, but that's just how I'll rank them, because, you know, the differences are very minor, so I'm not gonna go into all that shit, because it would take way too much time, and this is already gonna take way too much time, even though I'm trying to go through it as fast as I can, but it's still gonna take time. Burst rifle. Now, burst rifle is also gonna go A tier, but it's gonna go above the auto rifle. I like the burst rifle. It's pretty rare to get as a good rarity item because you'd have to loot it from a zombie or a lockpick box. Some NPCs use this weapon. Obviously, it's a common rarity one when they drop it, but these sell for a good amount of money. So if you have space in your inventory, pick these up, because you can sell at like level 60. You can sell these things for like 3k or something. That might not sound like much, but when you collect a lot of these during the prison section, for example, you can get some nice money for sure. K-knife, kind of the same as the sickles. I like the sickles better. There's also 2 of these here. That's on me. That's my bad. So let's just put that down there. But yeah, K-knives are kind of whatever. They're very similar to sickles. I think they have maybe a little bit less range, but I'm not sure. Chainsaw is in both games. It's better in Dead Island Riptide, but it's fun to use, but it's not that practical, so I'm gonna put it in D tier. You can upgrade it in Riptide. In the original you can't, but yeah, it's not that practical, so it's kind of whatever. Chinese War Sword is a really disappointing weapon from Dead Island Riptide. It's gonna go C tier still, because it doesn't deserve D, because it's still better than all these things, but man, was I disappointed when I got this. And again, this thing has terrible animations. It looks cool and it has okay stats, but like, the animations just suck. So it should have more damage. Like, look at the name, come on, dude. Claws are again Dead Island Riptide exclusive. They're kind of like brass knuckles, best used with John, and I'm gonna put them above the brass knuckles because they're more unique. So, yeah. I mean, these 4 are really interchangeable. It's really just down to what you prefer, and this is just what I prefer. So there's just not gonna be any logic like that for me here. Cleaver is a level capped item. Very good early game item, but if for some reason the normal cleaver is kind of hard to find actually. You usually find the homemade ones, so that's kind of weird. But regardless, I'll put it C because again, as a starter weapon, it's very good. Actually, I'll put it above this because these things like just aren't that interesting to me. Early game, cleaver is one of those weapons that you do want. Construction hammer, again, it's a two-handed blunt weapon. Suffers the same fate as the axes. Like, these things got really good stats. Like, my god, this thing is a powerhouse. But again, the animations are just so poor. Like, it's not fun to constantly swing this thing. It's really annoying. So I can't put it higher. I would still recommend using it, but you might get annoyed with it. Crowbar is a really good weapon. I'm gonna put the crowbar... I'll put it A. I'm a Sam B player mostly, so crowbar is really good for me. If you play any other character other than Logan maybe, crowbar's probably not for you. But yeah, crowbar has really good stats. Like at max level, fully upgraded, this thing can have like nearly 4,000 force or something like that. They're really good. So if you play Sambi, definitely pick this up. I don't know how to pronounce this weapon, but I'm just gonna call it the Good Girl. I hope I don't have to say that a lot, but it's kind of like the crowbar, just a little bit different. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Works quite similarly, so different mods are different, but other than that, they're pretty much kind of the same. Dio bombs are really good. I don't use grenades like I said before that much, but Dio bombs are cheap and they're very good. They're really, really good. I'm gonna put them bottom of A because again, I don't use grenades that much, but dude, Dio bombs are really good. Like, definitely craft these if you can. Well, you will be able to craft this. You get this recipe. I believe it's pretty early on, and even if you don't, by the time you get this, you're gonna be able to craft this a lot. I don't like knives. Diving knife is level capped, and it's gonna go D tier. I'll put it above the chainsaw and bleed bomb because it's more practical. Again, it's early game weapon, but I just don't like knives. They're way too weak for me. They have a fast attack rate, and you can put sticky bomb mods and Tesla bomb knife mods on these. Other than that, I just don't like them. So for me, the only things that save them from being F are the bomb knife mods and Logan. Normal double blade is level capped at 24. Again, D tier. Behind the knife, because this is not as common as the knife. You can find knives pretty much anywhere. Double blades you don't find anywhere, and they suck. So, what's the point even? The first developer weapon, which is gonna be our first F tier, which is really sad, because I like almost every single developer weapon, but man, this thing is fucking terrible. Like, I still to this day, I don't know what this thing does. I read that it's supposed to be that when you hit a critical hit on an enemy, the critical effect, which in this case is a shock, lasts until they die. I don't know if that's true. If it is, it's okay, but still the critical chance is very, very, very small, so I don't know. But based on my experience, this thing fucking sucks. So, yeah. Next up, exotic brass knuckles, rarest weapon in the game. Most people have never even used these. I'm gonna put them A tier, even though they're pretty much the same as all the other knuckles and stuff, but they look different, and also you can put the Juggernaut Gauntlets mod on this, which is a fantastic name for a mod. So, there you go. It's A tier. Very, very rare. You probably never have used it, like I've said. Again, it's a cane knife, not much to say. let's just move on. Like, they're just mid. Exotic double blades are my favorite type of double blades because of the curved blades they have. Other than that, not too exciting. Double blades just aren't interesting. Exotic mace. Maces are really good. Exotic mace is maybe my favorite. I'll put it there, between the baseball bat and the crowbar. Exotic mace is really good. You can put some nice mods on it. Again, as a SMB player, very nice. One-handed weapon actually as well, so it's very fun to use. Again, it's a sickle. I mean, I'll put it there. Exploding meat. Exploding meat is okay. Not my favorite because it takes a while to explode, because it has to attract the zombies first. But I'll put it C. I mean, if you like distracting zombies in Dead Island, then this is definitely the way to go, because meat bait on its own, it's kinda a waste for me. I don't see the point of using that. Next up we got the Explosive Mine. I'm gonna put it C tier because it's not that practical to use. You really use this in hub defenses, namely the Santa Maria mission. Other than that, you never use these things. Like they're just hard to use very efficiently. Fire axe is my favorite two-handed axe, mostly because of the name and the model. Other than that, it's just the same. Blanked mace, A tier. Model is worse than the exotic mace, so it's gonna go behind. Not much more to say, to be honest. Flare gun is F tier. I'll put it above the knife, but actually no I won't. Flare gun is in Dead on Riptide, and it's not very effective. I actually still to this day do not know if these things can spawn naturally from lockpick boxes or drop as or looted from zombies. But regardless, this thing's absolutely terrible. You can fully upgrade it. It shoots one flare at a time. Obviously, you have to reload it constantly. It sets the enemies on fire. That's cool. But it's not that practical to use again. So just don't use the flare gun. Frying pan is F tier. By the time you get to the point where you find frying pans, you're high enough level already, so you shouldn't use these weapons. This thing has no level requirement, so yeah. I think you can find this at the hotel, but by the time you're there, you shouldn't use this, like frying pans or paddles or stuff like that. Just no. Golf club is a Riptide weapon, and it's really good. Two-handed blunt weapon, has good animations actually. So I'll put it A tier. I'll put it above the crowbar and the cargo. A grenade is next up, and grenades are basically Dio bombs, but rarer and more expensive. So I'm just gonna put them into B tier, because I'm pretty sure it's literally just the same thing, but rarer. So it's harder to get and more expensive. So just use Dio bombs. If you find grenades, good, then use them. But other than that, just don't bother. Regular hammer is level capped. Actually a pretty good weapon early game. So I'm gonna put it here. Again, it's solid. You find this on the ground in like toolboxes and stuff. Habbo is a great weapon. Two-handed, again, has good animations though, so it's not painful to use. Has good mods, has a good reach as well because it's a very long weapon. Definitely recommend, especially if you're Sambi. If you're not playing Sambi, then maybe don't use the Hambo, because I believe it uses quite a bit of stamina. Harpoon is fun. Again, you have to reload after every shot, but I like the fact that you can pin enemies to walls and stuff like that with this. You can also put mods on this thing, so it's very nice. I really like it. It's satisfying to use. Obviously it's not the most practical, but you can kill like one zombie at a time with this, so it's pretty nice. I'll put it B. Yeah, I'll put it B. It's way more fun to use than the sniper rifle, because it's way more effective. Hat stand again. Found in the hotel for the first time. By the time you're there, you shouldn't use this thing. No level requirement, absolutely terrible. Now, Hatchet is a one-handed axe, and I don't know if it's gonna be... I'll put it top of A. Hatchets are real nice. These one-handed axes are some of the best weapons in the game, but I don't think it's quite S tier. We'll get to the S tiers later on. But yeah, hatchets are real fucking nice. They're way better than the two-handed axes, for sure. Heavy baton. Batons in this game are really good. One-handed blunt weapons. As a Sambi player, I enjoy these. I'm gonna put them. I'm gonna put the heavy baton there. Batons are gonna be S tier, with one exception, and we'll get there. If you play Dead Island, you might already know what it is. Heavy brass knuckles are... they're B tier, and they're the worst of the brass knuckles, because you can't mod these things. Other than that, it's pretty much the same as any other brass knuckles, but you can't put any mods on this, so that's why they're the worst. Heavy hammer is an underrated weapon. This thing is absolutely amazing, especially on Sambi. One-handed, very fast swing speed, actually, considering it's a hammer. So I mean, top of B for sure. Like, this thing is actually very good, but it's not that exciting, so that's why people don't give it love. It is what it is. Heavy Morningstar. Morningstars are nice. I'm gonna put them in A tier. I hate that they butchered the models in the remasters for the Morningstars. Like, they look absolutely terrible on those games. But in the originals they look nice. Golf Club's better, so I'll put it there. Morningstars look nice, and they have... you can put some nice mods on them. So, and again, as a Sambi player, I enjoy them. Enough said. Heavy Pistol. You get this as a quest reward from Titus very late in the game, and it's a purple rarity pistol by the time you are in the prison. Heavy Pistol is inferior to the normal pistol. I'm gonna put it B tier still, because pistols are really good still. But Heavy Pistol is worse than the normal pistol. I've yet to rank it, but I'm just gonna tell you it straight up, because it's just facts. Again, I mean, it looks amazing, don't get me wrong, but the normal pistol's just better. Heavy Wrench, again, has terrible animations, not too many modding opinions on it. Options. My apologies for this fucking terrible English. Yeah, not too exciting. Terrible animations. I'll put it above the Chinese War Sword, because I'll put it above these thought photos. And on top of C, yeah, that's fine for me. Because it's still, as a Sambi player, it's pretty good actually. Not, again, it's just not that exciting to use. Homemade Cleaver, starter weapon, level capped at 24, 39 in Riptide by the way for these level capped weapons, but yeah. I'll put it above the Cleaver because you find this more often. This is stupidly uncommon. I don't get it. It's so stupid. Homemade Double Blade, the worst double blade in the game. Again, level capped, and for some reason you just don't find this anywhere. I don't know what it is. You just don't find this thing anywhere. And also, it doesn't even look like a blade. It looks so fucking dull. Like, it's kind of like if someone tried to make a blade out of a spoon, right? It's just fucking stupid. It's so bad. Homemade Knife, again, just worse than the diving knife. This is also level capped. Same capabilities as this knife, so nothing too exciting. Next up we have the best starter weapon. I'm gonna still put it C tier because it is a starter weapon, but Homemade Machete. Machetes are great weapons. The only reason this is in C tier and not B or A because it's level capped. And yeah, but as a starter weapon, it's the best one you can get. There's also a quest you have to do in order to beat the game that you get this from. So you get to use it, which is really nice. So yeah, at the beginning of the game, this is definitely the way to go. Home Run Baseball Bat is gonna be our first S tier. If this was definitive edition, this thing would be probably F, maybe D tier, just about. But we're not basing it on the definitive edition, so it's gonna be S, because this thing can launch walkers, infecteds, fogs, floaters, butchers, and boss zombies. And what I mean by that is, for example, the native boss zombie or infected Rider White at the end of the game. So you can one-shot Rider White with this thing if you hit him right and he hits a wall. Like, this thing is amazing. The only thing you cannot hit down with this thing is rams, I believe. But man, this thing is amazing. It's so fucking good. Sledgehammer is again the same thing as the construction hammer. The terrible animations, other than that, it's pretty much the same. Incendiary grenades. Again, it's kind of like the Diabomb grenade thing. You have Molotovs in this game. You have like 2 quests that you can do where you keep getting Molotovs constantly for alcohol. Or you can get the Molotov blueprint and make them yourself. So like, and these things, there's a quest for this thing, but like you need to give the guy bleach, which is way better as a crafting item than alcohol. So there's no reason for this thing. Like it exists, and it's solid, but like just use Molotovs. They're way more common, way more cheaper, better in every way. Like there's no reason to use incendiary grenades. Kanabos gonna be better than maces, better than the bat, behind the heavy baton though. Kanabos are really good. You can put some nice mods on these. They look really nice as well. And again, as a Sam-B player, some of the best weapons you can use. Tana's S tier. I don't think I need to explain this thing. This is the best weapon in the game. Hands down, bar none. This is absolutely the best weapon in the game. The fact that you get Zed's Demise, a legendary katana from one of the easiest quests ever, as a reward. Like, what the fuck? It's ridiculous, but like this thing is so fucking good. Like, it's a two-handed sharp weapon, has good reach, very high damage. Durability is a bit on the lacking side, but it's not the worst. And you can put so many good mods on this, namely Deathstalker. So just like, if you get a katana, just do yourself a favor and use it. They're really fucking good. Kitchen knife is again so whatever. Level 24, level cap, better than homemade knife. Other than that, there's just nothing exciting about it. Next up we have the normal knife. Now this is actually not level capped for once, so I'm actually gonna move it up to C tier. But it's not gonna go high, because again, I don't like knives. I just don't find them fun to use, and I don't find them very efficient either. So knives are not for me. So bottom of C. Well, I like them better than the battle double blade and exotic double blade, because the attack speed is nice with this. These things just are nothing for me, pretty much. Kukri is gonna go next to the machetes. Again, it's down to the model really with this thing. It's just pretty much the same. Left hand of Glova. Again, definitive, this would definitely be F tier because it drains all your stamina. In the original, it's basically a worse version of the home run baseball bat. because it does the same things, but it's not as powerful, and it uses all of your stamina. So just use the home run baseball bat, unless you wanna use this because it's actually kind of cool and it's like the most unique weapon in the game. I'm gonna put it C because you can use this pretty effectively, to be honest, but it's not gonna be the most fun weapon to use because it drains all your stamina. Light brass knuckles are again level capped at 24, and they are absolutely terrible. Still better than knives. You can't mod these or anything like that. And brass knuckles normally are very good, but these things just lack everything. Like, there's just nothing about them. Early game, you don't want to use brass knuckles really, because at early game you're probably in a position where you're gonna be actually struggling in this game. I find this game very easy, and the early parts are the parts of the game where you actually have to make some decisions for your survival. And one of them is to not use brass knuckles because they're very terrible. Because you're gonna have low HP and they have low reach and stuff. I don't have to explain this much. Like, you guys just you be the judge, okay? Just you be the judge. M72 Law is a Riptide exclusive. It's a rocket launcher, and it should be quite cool. I mean, it is pretty cool. It's, again, just not that practical to use. I'm gonna put it C tier. I'll put it above the sniper rifle because these two work quite similarly. You shoot and you reload. But the thing is that this thing has way more potential to kill enemies. You can kill enemies in a quick succession with this. Not really. But the thing with the M72 Law is that the explosion radius is really huge, so you might kill yourself with it as well. And also, ammo for it is only found in Henderson, on top of the cinema roof, and like the quarantine zone. So you don't get to use it that much because the max ammo as well is like 5 rockets. Normal mace is gonna go in between the two. Talking about maces before, I don't need anything to add to this. Maces are good weapons. Same with this. Machetes are good. I'm gonna put it there. Again, it's just down to the model at this point, but machetes are A tier. Magnum is absolute fucking garbage. You can upgrade this thing, but you can't mod it at all, and it shoots slow, and it actually doesn't even have that high of a damage, so it's not as exciting as it should be. Like, this thing should be, you know, really powerful, like really high damage, but it's just not. And it's a slow fire rate, it reloads slow. There's nothing good about this thing. It's so bland. Like, just use a common pistol all day. Maul, again, same thing as the construction hammer and sledgehammer. I'm just gonna put it there because the model again. Terrible animations, but other than that, good stats. Meat bait is F. I don't care for meat bait. I don't think that in Dead Island you need to distract the zombies and do nothing else. I like to play Dead Island with killing zombies on my mind. I don't want to bait them or stuff like that, so I don't like meat bait. You use it for this, and that's about the only good reason to get meat bait. Other than that, just don't use meat bait, at least from my perspective. Meat mallet is basically the heavy hammer, but more exciting. A Riptide exclusive again. Looks kinda similar, but it's more unique, so that's why I'm putting it higher above. Other than that, it's basically the same. You know, I believe it has the same animations and probably the same same hitboxes and stuff like that. So yeah. Metal baseball bat is my favorite baseball bat. I'll put it straight above the big baseball bat, so because again, it's very neck and neck. It's just down to preference. Both are very good. I just prefer the metal baseball bat. You can put some nice mods on these, and baseball bats have good stats, so there you go. Metal baton behind the heavy baton, but where is the heavy baton? There it is. Behind the heavy baton, but other than that, still a good melee weapon. Sambi batons, very good combo, man. Next up, Metal Kanabo S tier. Best weapon for Sambi. Like, if you want me to name you a weapon that you should use as Sambi, this is it. Metal Kanabo. Absolutely fucking amazing. The stats on these things is absolutely insane. Like, this thing's got like maybe a little less damage than machetes. It's got the force of like a crowbar or a sledgehammer, and it's got the durability of, well, like a construction hammer or the mace, the crowbar, and it's two-handed, and it's got the animation from the baseball bats. It's really fucking good. Like, if you haven't used this, definitely give it a go. Like, it's so fucking amazing. You get this from Titus at the end of the game, so I guess most people have used it. But like, man, it's fucking amazing. Like, oh my god. Metal pipe is a starter weapon, no level requirement. It's not gonna go F like the hatstand or frying pan, because this thing is common. And that's about it. It's common, so you actually get to use the pipe weapons. By the time you find these, you shouldn't use even the metal pipe. But metal pipes are found everywhere. Some zombies even carry them themselves and use them. So yeah, good for a very early game. Other than that, nothing to say about it. Military knife is probably the best knife in the game, best looking at least, and again, it's not level capped, thank god. But other than that, pretty much the same as the normal knife. Military machete, probably the best looking machete out of the ones we have. I mean, bolo machete might be better, but again, it depends on the day, really. Ulti machetes though are really good weapons. Mind-blowing military knife is again a developer weapon, really solid for killing walkers and infecteds, but I'm still gonna put it C tier because unless you're Logan, it's not that practical to use, because you want to use this as a throwing weapon, and Logan has economic throw and boomerang, which makes it quite easy to spam this thing and kill large groups of walkers or infecteds. If you're not playing Logan, it's kinda whatever. Molotov is up next. Like I said, it's literally the incendiary grenade, but cheaper, so, and more common. Like, you can find this on the ground. Like, this is, you find this on the resort, like at the pool area when you go do your first quest for the first chapter. I'll put the Molotov here. More practical than the mine. Actually, I'll put it above the developer weapons. More practical than the mine, and I like it more than the exploding meat, because as soon as this hits the enemy, it starts to do damage, right? So yeah, Molotovs are common, but they're good. Normal Morningstar will go behind the heavy Morningstar. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. This might have a little faster swing speed, but other than that, pretty much the same again. And heavy Morningstar also looks better. Nail gun, I don't care. F tier. dude, nail gun is so disappointing. It shoots way too slow. You can get your ammo back after you've shot them, but this thing is quite inaccurate at times, and also finding nails if you've missed your target is really annoying. So, and also it's not that effective. So it's just not for me. You can mod this thing and upgrade it, but other than that, just nothing good about it. It looks cool, I guess. I mean, it's a nail gun, but yeah, other than that, just a terrible weapon. Honestly, absolutely terrible. Only in Dead and Riptide, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. Nail hammer, again, level capped at 24. I prefer it over the normal hammer because I like the model better. This image is from Definitive Edition. A lot of these are, but yeah, the model is still better in both games, to be honest. So yeah, nothing else to say about it. Paddle, again, the first weapon you'll use. Well, most likely at least. I'll put it above the metal pipe because, again, it's the first weapon you use, and this is everywhere on the beach. So we all know the paddle, we all love it, and for what it's worth, it's pretty okay. Like the metal pipe, it's common and decent for the start. Pickaxe is gonna go B tier. I would love to put pickaxe in A or S, but it suffers from terrible animation. I'm gonna put it above the axes though. It suffers from terrible animations again. Other than that, it's really cool. Doesn't have too many mods to put on it, but other than that, it's really good. It's kind of like the large hammers, but just a different model. It has the same animations though, so that's why it's only gonna be in B tier. But it's still a good weapon, especially SMB. Pistol is going A tier, and it's gonna go above the auto rifle, but behind the burst rifle. Again, this might not make any sense to you. Well, okay, it doesn't make any sense to me either, so I'm gonna put it behind the rifles. Yeah, pistols are really good. This thing makes heavy pistols and magnums and revolvers, which we haven't ranked yet, just not worth your time. Like, I understand using a heavy pistol. I can fuck with that. But the magnum and the revolver, just no. Just use one of these. Preferably the pistol because it is better. It has more ammo in the mag than the heavy pistol. It's more accurate, and because it shoots faster, it'll deal way more damage. Plague Bearer, it's gonna go C tier. This will always crit, so it will always make your enemies vomit. So it'll give the poison effect for those that don't know. And you can combo it with fire weapons, so for instant kills. So it's pretty good. But again, it's kinda not too practical to use unless you're Logan, of course. Poison Bomb, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember using these very much, but poison is a good effect in Dead Island, so I'm gonna put it, I'll put it above the meat. Poison is a good effect in the Dead Island games, and but these again, not common at all. I don't think anyone sells these. You may be able to craft these, I'm not sure, but yeah, other than that, kind of whatever. Poison Mine's gonna go right next to it, behind the Explosive Mine, because I believe the Poison Mine, if I remember correctly, again, because I don't use mines that much, other than the explosive ones, because they're the most common and the best. I believe this leaves like a gas cloud where the mine exploded, and then the zombies pass through it and take damage. So again, it's poison, so it's good for that, but other than that, kinda hard to use because it's a mine. Polish Baton will go between the two. Looks better than the Metal Baton, but Heavy Baton looks better, I think, and generally I prefer the Heavy Baton. I don't know why, I just do. Next up we have one of the cooler looking weapons in the game, but again, a fucking disappointment. Like this thing reminds me of myself. Like it, you look at it and you're like, huh, that seems cool, that might be good, and you use it. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, this thing, it's just not exciting. Like, it looks really good, but it's kind of like the double blaze, you know. The reach is not that good, and the cutting power is whatever. So, yeah, I wish it was better, but it is what it is. It has a cool name though, and looks good, but that's all it got going for it, really. Revolver is... I don't know. I was about to say worse version of the Magnum, but I really don't know which. Revolver is worse. Pardon me. I can't talk. Yeah, Revolver sucks. Less damage. It shoots a bit faster than the Magnum, but other than that, it's the same. You can upgrade it, but you can't mod it. It has terrible reload speed, terrible damage. Just don't use it. Scottish Dirk is nice. You can only put bleed mods on it, and there's not too many of them that you can put on the Scottish Dirk. But it's a really good weapon. This is in Dead Island Riptide only. I'll put it here. Yeah, that's good. Scottish Dirk is really nice. Yeah, not much to say about it. It's quite unique, to be honest, though. But yeah, it's very good. Skies, again, it's just basically a sickle. I'll put it there. I've talked about this enough. I don't wanna repeat myself. Now, semi-auto sniper rifle is gonna go. I'll still only put it into B tier. I think. No. Will I? Yeah, I'll still only put it B tier because sniper rifles are not really made for Dead Island, to be honest. Most of the combat you will be fighting will be mid to close range. You can use the sniper rifle somewhat effectively if you're on a rooftop, for example. And there are areas in the game where you can shoot from afar. And for that, sniper rifle's good. What I don't like is that this shares the same ammo as auto rifles and burst rifles and stuff like that. It makes sense, but I just don't like it, okay? Still, a very high damage weapon, and I believe you can only get it from Zoe's shop when it's fully upgraded. Other than that, I don't know if it spawns. I've never seen it spawn, so I don't know. Regardless, it's a very nice weapon. Shilela, again, probably butchered that name. Don't have much experience on this thing. It has terrible animations. I don't use it up that much because I never find it really. It's only, again, in Dead Island Riptide. And I think I'll put it behind the hammers because I believe it's pretty much the same. It's got the same animations, at least. But I don't use it that much because I never find it, so it's hard for me to actually say. Short shotgun. Now, shotguns are pretty good in the original. In definitive, again, they're kind of terrible, unless we're talking about Riptide. But the short shotgun is... I'll put it bottom of B because shotguns are still satisfying to use. But short shotgun is inferior to the normal shotguns. I'll put this. I'll put it. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Short shotgun is B because it has more. It does do more damage than the normal shotguns, but it's way less accurate, has less ammo, and also, even though it has less ammo, it reloads slower. So, what the fuck? Yeah, so I don't like them for that reason. But they're still good. Like, if I have a short shotgun and I haven't found a normal shotgun, I will use it, of course. Normal shotgun, just, I prefer it. Like, the models are better. There's more variety for the models as well. And, again, like I said, it's got better accuracy, more ammo, and reloads faster. Even though it's got less damage, you'll be hitting your shots with this more. Yeah, shotguns are real fun. Okay, now I actually remember, this list is missing the shovel from the original games. This is from Dead Island Riptide, the shovel from Dead Island Riptide, and, well, if we had the shovel from the original, it would be in F tier. Because again, it's just the thing with the frying pan that hat stand. By the time you find it, you shouldn't use it. Also, I forgot to mention, my brother is crazy for hat stands. I don't know, something's fucking wrong with him probably. Anyway, that has nothing to do with this fucking video. Yeah, shovel from Dead Island Riptide is really fucking good. It's a cutting weapon, one-handed, good animations. I'll put it there, above the Batons. You can put some nice mods on this as well, and it makes the shovel look like completely something else. Like, it's not gonna be a shovel after you mod this thing. I will tell you that much. But it's real fun to use, that's for sure. I don't even want to say anything about this anymore. Like, let's just... I'll put it there, let's just fucking move on. Because, fuck that, we've talked about that enough. Best firearm in the game. Single shot rifle. I said it, and you'll probably disagree, and that's fine. But I just love the single shot rifle. The model is... I really fucking love the model for some reason. I don't know what about it is, but it's really nice. Even though it is a single shot, you can shoot this thing really fucking quick, and it's got way less recoil than the auto rifle, which is why I really like it. Yeah, this thing is amazing. Again, it's quite hard to find. Some NPCs use it, but again, that's common rarity, and you'd want at least a rare, which is blue. Preferably you want an orange or a purple one. Regardless, this thing is amazing. Most people might say that pistol is the best one. I think it's a single shot. Pistols are still good, but shotguns are more fun, rifles are more fun, and this thing is the goat of firearms. Slicer. Actually, again, Slicer is actually a very good weapon. I feel like it's a bit underrated again, but again, it's just not that exciting, I guess. It's basically a cleaver that doesn't have a level cap. So yeah, where do I put this? It's very short. I'll put it here. I prefer the hammer and the meat mallet, but actually I prefer fucking brass knuckles and the pickaxe. That's fine. That's fine for me, I think. Because yeah, that's fine for me. The slicer is a good weapon. Especially like this thing has real high damage actually. So if you have a fully upgraded slicer with like a Deathstalker, you can actually lay down the law. It's quite fantastic. Sonic pulse grenades, Dead Island Riptide exclusive. They're really cool. I will give them that. They're really fucking cool, actually. Other than that, just man, like you can only kill like walkers and infected with this. You might be able to kill thugs with this. I'm not actually sure. So if someone actually can check that out for me, I would appreciate it. But yeah, it's real cool, but it's just not the most practical one. You can kill hordes with this, so I'll put it here. I'll put it behind the poison bomb because this can be used more efficiently, I feel. Staff is absolutely amazing. I love the staff. it's A or S, and I'm thinking, no, it's A, but it's like, yeah, top of A, let's say that. It's two-handed, but it swings quite fast actually, and also it doesn't have terrible animations, even though it's quite a long weapon, because you hold it sideways, if you know what I mean. And also you can put some nice mods on this. It's really fucking good. I love it. It's again a Dead on Riptide exclusive, if I didn't say that. Also, I noticed that we don't have the Sonic Mine here. If we did have the Sonic Mine, it would be probably here or between the grenade and the exploding meat, because it's the same thing as the grenade, just not that practical, and that's about it. Also, this image here is a broomstick, right? But it stays a stick now, and I mean, I'm gonna rank this as the stick that actually requires a level to use. If it was the broomstick, it would be here, or it would be here. Like, it's a common early game weapon again, no level requirement, nothing much to say about it. But I'm gonna rate it as the stick that has a level requirement. So I'm gonna... There's a joke there, but I don't find it. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Maybe it's a good thing though. Regardless, it's okay. I mean, again, the thing with the stick is that it's... I'll put it here. One of those things, like, it's not that good, and for some reason it's quite uncommon again, which doesn't really make any sense. But yeah, it's okay. Like, I mean, it's a stick, so like, don't expect much from it. You can put some mods on it though. Like, I know you can put the nail mod on and stuff like that, so it's alright. But other than that, just not that exciting. I have absolutely zero memories of using the stun bombs, to be honest. If I remember correctly, this shocks the zombies. Oh yeah, that's what the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, that's literally what it is. Yeah, this stun bomb, right? What the fuck? Yeah, these are actually okay. I don't remember if these do damage to you, because I have a feeling they don't. Like, as it explodes, I mean. I don't remember, but I think that's the case. With that being said, I mean, shock is a really good effect. I'll put it behind... Oh, actually, why are those like that? That's supposed to be like that. I'll put it there. Because I prefer poison. But yeah, other than that, I mean, yeah, it's a good effect. But again, there's a lot of better grenades, namely grenade, molotov, and diabomb. So yeah. Stun gun. Now this image is from Rider Wise campaign, but I mean the taser from Dead on Riptide. Again, that's a mistake on my part, so my bad. It is what it is. Regardless, the taser from Dead on Riptide actually is pretty good. Again, it shocks enemies, and I just talked about shock. It's a good effect. So we'll put it... where do we put it? You can upgrade this thing as well, which is nice. I think it's still gonna be C tier, to be honest. But I'll put it top of C. Yeah, because this thing is actually pretty good. Like, you can do some damage with this thing, and you can stun your enemies with it. So it's real nice. Just I don't want to talk about this anymore. Like, we've gone over this like 5,000 times. Just let it go, man. Tanto is... it's kind of... it's a knife, but better, if you get me. It's still not gonna be C tier. It's gonna be B. I'll put it bottom of B. I don't like how just short it is. That's really my only issue with this. And also, this thing breaks really easily. Like, the durability is quite awful. But other than that, it's pretty good. So I'll keep it there. I mean, it's like you can get some nice mods on it and stuff like that, so it's nice. Can someone explain to me why these were made? These are indeed on Riptide, but why? Like, you don't need throwing knives as a different weapon. Like, you already have these knives here that you can put explosive mods on and throw them. We don't need throwing knives. Like, you can put like, I think you can put like Deathstalker mods on these and like stuff like that. What a fucking waste. Like, if you like using these, good for you, but my god, I just don't fucking get these things. So, fuck that shit. On a more positive note, Tonfa is actually really good. I'll put it behind the Batons and the Kanabo and the baseball bats. Because even though it's a really good weapon, it's just not that exciting, right? So that's why it's there. You can put some nice mods on Tonfa though, namely the bodily harm mod. That's a real nice one to have. So yeah, it's still very good though. Universal Axe, I believe, is one-handed. I don't remember from the top of my head now, but I believe it's one-handed. So if I'm wrong, butcher me. And if I'm wrong, it would be here. But I believe it's one-handed, so it's gonna go straight behind the hatchet. Because again, it's pretty much the same, unless I'm wrong. But I'm gonna assume it's just a one-handed axe. It's pretty much the same, it just looks worse. That's why it's there. Next up we have the last S tier weapon. Wakizashi. It's the katana, but it's one-handed, a little bit shorter, less durability, but this thing is the highest damaging weapon of the game. The legendary variant Eviscerator is the highest damaging. Yeah, this thing does a lot of damage. I just prefer the katana, because I feel like it's got better animations, better handling. So, yeah, but Wakizashi is fucking amazing, dude. Double blade, just go. Like, it's kind of like the exotic double blade. But the blade is not as cool, which is why it'll be behind. We get knife. I think, yeah, this thing is not level capped. I was about to put it like D tier, but yeah, this thing is not level capped. It's not that exciting though. I'll put it above the normal knife and behind the military knife. But yeah, it's just what a knife is, not my favorite weapon. The sickles, man, this just fucking hell, man. The wicked sickle is there. Yeah, these two look the same, no? Interesting. Anyway, fucking, let's move on. We're almost done here. Wooden baton. Yeah, this is the only baton in the game that is level capped. I'll put it behind the stick. Again, this is, you don't really find the baton. So, that's why it's gonna be in D tier for the starter weapons. And it's not that exciting, like, just like the stick, it's not that exciting. It's just a wooden fucking stick. Like, literally, this is also just a stick. Like, it's smoother, but that's about it. So yeah, not exciting at all. And also quite uncommon for some reason. Wooden plank is a weapon some zombies actually carry. You can find this occasionally. You most likely won't, which is why I will put it in F tier. But this is a weapon that you might be able to use efficiently, actually. So, most likely not, but maybe. It could happen. You might find this at the resort. And next up we have the wrench. Again, this is capped at level 24. And it's a really good weapon. The problem is you can't mod it. I'll put it there. It has good animations. And as a start weapon, it's very solid. This one is a duplicate, so we're done here. I like that we have 5 things in S tier, actually. It's like if I made a top 5 weapon list. That's real nice. Although, if I made a top 5 weapon list, I probably wouldn't include firearms or developer weapons, but I'm not gonna make one anyway, so just shut up. That's nice. That's really nice. As you can see, I rated a lot of things in A tier as well, but that's because, I mean, this game has a lot of wonderful weapons. C tier has the most candidates, obviously, the mid tier, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm gonna be hitting you with more tier lists later on, some Dead Island ones and some other games as well. But for now, this is what I wanted to start with because this is my favorite game of all time, so I just wanted to make this list. It's just made for me. I'm gonna be able to look back at this ranking and be like, damn, I've been talking way too much shit. So yeah. Anyway, that's gonna be it. My throat hurts from talking too much. I will be making more stuff like this later on. And also, murder me in the comments, please, because I would like to see what you guys think about this atrocious list. Anyway, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. See ya later.